Frazier and Maestro styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
Yo, what up? What up? Welcome back, folks. It's another episode, a brand new episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We are streaming live on our Twitter handle at Barbershop SPOR2. Also streaming on the Instagram account at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast.
Yep. Yep. That's me.
That kind of night.
I'm about to say, I don't know if that's me that went out or that's you. I think that's you, though. Yeah, that's you. What's happening, man? Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. This is Maestro Styles, man. We gonna and I am joined in and out with my man Trey Frazier. We are streaming on Instagram. We streaming on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. I think I said Twitter. So Twitter twice, Facebook, and all those necessary places, man. Welcome to the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Trey, how you doing, man?
Seemed like it's gonna be that kind of night.
Well, don't put that energy out, man. Let's just adapt and move on, man.
Sure.
What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just couple rough days at work. But all's good, man. Family's good. Weekend was great. We'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But hey, I see you brought back the you brought back the background, man. I've been missing that background for a minute now, bro.
Yeah, man. Lord God bless. I'm moving into to the new spot. So been doing, putting everything back together. This is probably gonna be a more permanent thing nowadays. I just like this space better. So
yep.
This is gonna be my space where I pod at, man. I do got some more artwork to add up. I'm actually looking at it right here. Got more artwork to add up. But I woke up at 2 a.m. This morning and was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put it together. And here we are, man. Here we are.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. So you had a tough week. I don't know if I've had easy days at work in the past 2 months, if I'm being frank with you. So I feel like at this point, they say pain, growth is, you gotta go through pain to grow.
Yeah.
So maybe this is my growth season, if you will. So we just taking it a day at a time, man. A day at a time.
No doubt. First thing I want to do before we get started. So we got a guest coming on tonight. One of our good friends over at the Wait a Minute show, Joloni Boddie. Big supporter of the podcast. He's been on with us a couple times. Detroit sports fan. And the Lions, got a good win over the weekend against Chicago. They're playing the Ravens next Monday night. So we're going to bring them in and just kind of, preview that matchup, a Super Bowl preview matchup, by the way. And he's going to talk about the Detroit Pistons and, they had a good year last year, kind of coming out of nowhere and, what those expectations are and, just some of the things he's got coming up. His show's been doing, some good stuff over there and, can't wait to bring him on. Second thing I want to do, quick big shout out to Nottingham's Tavern in Columbia, Maryland for hosting our watch party event for the 10-year anniversary of the podcast. Shout out to the guy, Robert, who's the owner there. Very hospitable, cool. Found out he was from New York, born and raised too. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that was pretty dope. And the folks that were there,
Hell of a time, man. Hell of a time, man. Shout out to
mm,
everybody who came through, man. We had a hell of a time. I made sure that that me and you spoke before things got going, and I want to commend you for the idea, putting the play together for the most part, and I have to make sure I said to you before things got started. And
yeah,
no matter what happens today, this was a success, and I want to reiterate that this was a success, and this is just another step to where we going with this podcast, where we going with this platform, man. So first and foremost, kudos to you.
yeah. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Secondly, man, to everybody who showed up, man. We got love, man. We got love. We got love. Support to our community. Support to the people who showed up. Support to our team that we were told, me and you, that we underutilized. We won't make that mistake in the future. We will not make that mistake in the future. We got a strong team that we underutilized, and they did everything, including let us know that, hey man, y'all not using us. Y'all not using us right.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Quick to
so
let us know. Quick to let
yeah.
us know for sure, man.
So shout out to our team. Y'all know who y'all are. Shout out to the team.
Mhm.
Let's take this platform. Let's take this movement to the next level. Shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody who showed up to
Yep.
support. And hell of a fight, man. Hell of a fight.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I did want to mention, was Bree her name, the bartender?
Yeah, shout out Bree Mafia.
Yep.
And I actually did. I remember when I was talking to her last Saturday night. I
Yeah.
was like, when she told me, I was getting a contact, and I'm like, damn, that name does sound familiar. And I've seen that name in music circles
Hmm.
around here. So
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
seen her
yeah.
name in music circles. So shout out Bree Mafia.
No doubt.
Hey, we looking for you too.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. And the homie Jeff that did security there, shout out to him also, because he spent his time making sure, as folks was coming in, people got in safely and did all that stuff. So, great job by Nottingham Tavern staff, all around, from ownership to bartending to security, all that good stuff. And then, I'll reiterate what you said as far as our team is concerned. Big support from our team to help, put some of this together. But they definitely let us know that, hey, we're not doing enough. You guys are, we're worth more than what you guys allowed us to do to help out here. So I won't put anything in the air right now.
nope.
I will just say, to the people listening and watching, be on the lookout, because this will not be our final get together
Thing. This
slash
won't be our final
event.
thing. This
This will
won't be
not
our
be our
final
last
thing.
event. Yeah. So we'll have some stuff coming up. Just stay tuned in. Follow us on social media. You guys know the handles. Be on the lookout for some events coming from us. So,
For sure.
so the fight.
The fight.
It, it's like you and I were saying, for weeks now. Um, it's the Bud Crawford show, and from round one through the end. And I know you said you predicted 10 rounds. I can't remember what you.
Well, that's no. I said that in the fight, like while the fight was going on.
Yeah.
I was talking to talking to our man's, and he was sitting there. He picked Canelo. Let's
Yep.
be clear. My man's picked Canelo. So as the first, second, third, fourth round was happening, he was like, yeah, Canelo dogging Slim, and I'm sitting here looking at it like, like.
What's he
Are we
watching?
looking at the same fight? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it looked like to
Yeah.
me, Bud Crawford sizing him up, and he
Hmm.
get ready to start putting work in.
Hmm.
So like I said, work was put in. I mean, Canelo got punched in some of these rounds, and you know, you're like, damn, like I don't know if that's how he was. I don't think he's ever been hit like that before. Like it looked like it looked like he got hit and he shocked. He was shocked,
Like he was shocked by it, right?
yeah,
Like,
like
oh
he was
snap! Like
like
I'm supposed to be the strong one. Like, why am I getting knocked around like
these
this?
things, these things hitting, these
Mm-hmm.
things hitting, and you know,
Yeah.
Canelo got a chin. Canelo is a vet in this game. You know, one of the better boxers to ever do it, especially in this generation.
Yeah.
But
That's
you know what I'm saying. So for him to be the veteran he is and still be surprised by them types of punches, you know, it just lets you know what Bub Crawford brings to the game. This dude is different, man. He's different. He's one of the better boxers. I mean, Canelo even said, I guess somebody asked him at some time in the post conference, you know, who was the better fighter between him and Floyd Mayweather. I don't remember the context, but he flat out said, like, nah, this dude is better. Like when I fought, this was a tougher fight. This dude is a better
mm-hmm.
boxer than Floyd Mayweather. You know, and you know that's a lot. That's a lot. Shout out to Bud Crawford. You know, I don't want to mess the stat up, but I feel like I'm going to. But hopefully, I got it right. Most belts in in a division, like he's been from 135, 140, like he's gone up, and he's won belts in all these weight classes, and he has belts in all of them. And to even add, I guess to the sake of good sportsmanship, Canelo. I'm sorry, Bud Crawford went back and gave, they give you the belts, but those aren't really your belts. That they make you your own belts. So he made it his business before the fight was over to after the fight was over, to go back and give Canelo back the belts that they give it to you for a sake of formality, for a sake at the end of the fight. They give you the belts that you lost. I mean that the opponent lost, but he went backstage and gave him his belts back. Those were personalized belts, obviously, with Canelo's name on it and all the things. And he made sure he personally walked back and gave Canelo back his belts, man. So classy dude. Classy move, man, and you just got to continue to shout out the type of boxer that Bud Crawford is, but also the type of man that Bud Crawford is. You don't hear no whole bunch of nothing about Bud Crawford. That dude come in, he do the job, and he go home to his, shout out to Bud Crawford, man. And then, and one last point I'll make, and I'll let you go. Yep. This dude a family man, dog. Like, this was truly his fight. You know what I'm saying? I know we talked a lot about Canelo not having a signature fight, and but this was truly also Terrence Crawford's, magnum opus, if you will. He don't got to do nothing else, man. He don't have to fight another fight. He's cemented in boxing history, and I think this match, this win, kind of, if he decided, all right, I'm good. He's good, and he's cemented in boxing history off of this one. If he wasn't before, which I think he was, but this one was definitely like a step up from every other fight he's fought in his career.
So right now, with the landscape of boxing, Bud Crawford is the best out right now.
I think you have to say he's the best pound for pound right now, and people and look, let's be clear. People have been saying it. I know he hadn't been necessarily ranked best pound for pound, but people have been saying it for years, and I think this kind of, right now, if we got to say right now, I think most people would say right now, and I haven't looked at the actual rankings, but right now.
Yeah, because him beating Errol Spence was kind of the beginning, and then he gets to this matchup against Canelo, a stronger boxer, and now he gets this one under his belt. And, when you look at what's coming up, and I'll be honest with you, I am not looking forward to these next matches. There's big names, but I really don't want to see these two fights. And I'm talking Floyd and Tyson, and then Paul and Tank. I want to see Tank and Roach. I want to see the rematch next.
Yeah.
With all that's about to come up, I'd have to say Bud right now to me, he's the best in the game right now.
Yeah, and in a clinic, man. Like, let's be clear. There wasn't a time where watching this fight that I felt like Canelo was in control here. This fight was dominated
Mm-hmm.
by Bud Crawford, man. So I mean, shouts to him. I know there has been conversations about Terrence Crawford moving up in weight class again.
Yeah.
To and that would put him out like somewhere around 178, I want to say. And then that's like Dimitri Bivol and a couple of those cats.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, you know, and if he does it, cool. Cool. But he, like I said, he don't have to do a thing if he don't want to. He can chill. Like 37, 38 years old, something somewhere around there. He didn't got to do nothing else, man. He can go right off in the sunset, and boxing would be um, a less entertaining sport because of it. But truthfully, he can ride off in the sunset and be celebrated as one of the greats, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody would have an issue with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. With you there for sure. Quick shout out to Mocha Bella. Mocha Bella, it's been a minute.
What up? What up? What up?
Appreciate the support and all that good stuff. So yeah, man, just to kind of cap it off, man. Again, amazing fight. Bud is the best. And the whole watch party and atmosphere, just everything about that weekend, everything about that Saturday, just came to the way that I envisioned it would be coming to. So props to you for definitely putting your stamp on the night that was. And we got a lot more, man. This is just is one step. It was our first event, one of many more to come. And I'm so excited to kind of get to working on the next thing coming up.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man. Let me go ahead and get my bullshit off. Uh, Look, y'all. Breaking news, not breaking news. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not gotten their run defense together, their defense together for that matter. The offensive line haven't got their shit together, and special teams was bad on Saturday. If you don't know, the Pittsburgh Steelers lost to the Seattle Seahawks this past Sunday, 31-17. The make or break, or I guess the play that shifted kind of shifted things
Special teams.
was the Caleb Johnson coverage or lack of coverage on a kickoff where either he didn't know that he needed to fielded it in that area,
Yep.
or he decided not to. I don't know. I'm gonna go with he just didn't know.
Mhm.
He got cussed out by some teammates, obviously from some fans, and he has been stripped of his special teams duty as of today, per Mike Tomlin's press conference today. All the things that should happen when you make that kind of
Oh yeah.
costly mistake.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look, he a rookie. I don't know. I saw a tweet today that said, he only got 4 offensive carries Sunday. So with him
Mm.
being kicked off of special teams, there's a conversation where Pittsburgh might be interested in bringing in another running back, Trey Sermon, who was with them in the preseason. That
Hmm.
might be a conversation. Look, everybody spoke highly of Caleb Johnson before this moment. I know he didn't have anything spectacular to speak about in game 1, and then he had this fuck up, no other way to put it, this fuck up in week 2. But let's cool our jets. Let's sit them down, because that's what you need to do when you make those types of mistakes. Let's give them some education, give them some knowledge, and prep them. But this was the guy that a lot of people were saying coming into the league that he would eventually sit down Jalen Warren. And if people believe that, then let's give him a little grace. Let's calm
Hmm.
down, give him a little
Right.
grace, coach him up, and throw him back out there and see if you're ready later on in the season. But I mean, to everybody that's ready to call him a bust and all that, come on, y'all. Come on. Let's calm down, still a nation. That was a fuck up. That was a big fuck up, but we got other fish to fry. Let's deal with this defense. Let's deal with this defense and this offensive line before we start throwing rocks at Caleb Johnson, our third round draft pick.
Back-to-back 30-point games given up by the Steelers, and I would say defensively against Seattle. I wouldn't put that touchdown on the defense, the one that your guy gave up on
Yeah,
special teams.
sure.
I
But the
wouldn't put
points are the
that on the
points.
defense.
But the points
No,
are the points.
of course, the
Yeah.
points are the points. But for context, that kind of changed the whole the whole game around there. I actually, and I'll probably announce this later in the show, but man, I won me some money this weekend, bro.
Oh man.
It's
Well, you
wild,
just
bro.
announced it. You don't have to announce it. You just announced it.
Yeah. Well, no, I kind of want to go into detail like the parlays that I hit, but I'm not ready to
All right.
disclose that just yet. But in response to the Steelers in Seattle, um, it seemed like this was sort of a Mike McDonald masterclass. And what I mean by that is, he's the former Ravens defensive coordinator, previously before he got that job. So he kind of knows what it's like to play in Pittsburgh, coach in Pittsburgh for that matter. The players on Seattle don't have a lot of that experience and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing they said during the week before the game, they said they had them out in practice in loud music environments, and they pretty much played Renegade for a portion of their practice just for them to get a feel for how it's going to be once that moment, in the game comes.
Right.
So I'll give Mike McDonald some props for being able to prep this team because historically the Seahawks historically when they go to Pittsburgh, and I have a little bit of memory of some of those games. Russell Wilson coming to Seattle, not getting the win. Even the game where I think the year Ben got hurt early in the year, and Seattle had to come across the country to play Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh got a win
Yeah.
without Ben.
Your
You
memory
know what I'm
better than
saying?
me. I don't remember them games. Your memory
Yeah.
way better than
So
mine.
yeah. So, so shout out to the Seahawks, man, for doing me a solid and 1-1 tied on top of the AFC North, and just to kind of segue, um, Cleveland Browns have been talking a lot of smack in the media during the week leading up to the game. Jerry Judy was talking about the defense, and look, rightfully so, given what happened last week. Homeboy on defense was saying how, hey, it's not hard to stop Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry said, hey, we gonna find out. And look, to their credit, they did a good job on him early.
Yeah. Yeah. You was saying they did a good job on yeah, you went out. You were
Yeah.
saying that you were saying that okay, yeah, we were saying that Jerry Judy basically I'm sorry, the Cleveland Browns did a good job on Derrick Henry. That's where you started to go out at.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this team found a way to when it looked like they were going to give it up in that third quarter. It was a 20-10 game, and we didn't convert on a third down, and they got the ball back, and we got the turnover right there, and they just kind of went away. Had to put Flacco to the bench. It got so bad, and I didn't realize that was Flacco's first game against the Ravens in Baltimore since he left the Ravens years ago, was which is seems kind of crazy because it's been 7 seasons so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, congrats on the Ravens getting a bounce back win against a division rival. That's the important part
Right.
about it. Not just
Right.
that it's Cleveland and Cleveland does Cleveland things, but that it's a division rival. 1-0 in the division, 1-1 on top of the North, tied with Pittsburgh. Well, Cincinnati is 2-0, but we'll talk about
Yeah, I
that
was
in
about to
a
say,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot their record. Given they've lost Joe Burrow for the year, it seems like, but yeah, 1-1. But it seems likely that this division is going to come down to Pittsburgh and Baltimore as we kind of move further into the regular season. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 All right, let's get our guest in here, host of the Wait a Minute Show, which you can find on YouTube and all your other streaming platforms. It's the homie Joloni JB Boddie. Big Detroit sports fans, got the Lions logo right there. Is ready. He's ready, man. Hey, Joloni, man, I appreciate you, man. What's going on, man?
What up, though?
What up, though?
What up, though? What up?
Trey Maestro, how y'all been?
Man, cooler, man. How you been?
Man, I'm making it.
Yeah, man. We all making it. We all making it,
all
man.
trying to make it.
Taking it day by day.
Hey, that set clean though. I'm not gonna hold you. That set clean. I like that.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Probably, hey, Maestro, that's got to be a top 5 backdrop right there. I've seen some dope backdrops on the show.
I ain't never rank it, man. I just I just happen to
top
say
5.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Hey,
Sure.
look. Hey, for sure.
It is.
It's
Yeah,
definitely. Hey, it's clean. That's clean. I like that. I definitely likes that.
loving that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So we were just sitting here recapping our team's games from week 2, and I guess we can move over to your Detroit Lions, who beat the brakes off the Chicago Bears on Sunday afternoon. A question for you, because they put up 50, and it seemed to me like and I'll go back to the offseason where obviously Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator with Detroit, he gets the Chicago Bears head coaching job. In interviews and his introduction, he's kind of taking shots at certain coaches in the division. He took a shot at LaFleur, took a shot at the Lions staff, and it felt like with the way y'all was kicking these boys' teeth in on Sunday, that y'all was trying to make a statement to this dude, like, yeah, like we good without you, like you ain't nothing special. We good without you. Like, how do you feel about that and your team's performance?
Oh, it definitely was a statement. But here's the thing that I look at it as. Couple things. You got, if anybody got little brother, big brother, you know how siblings are.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth. So I love Ben Johnson. I will always love Ben Johnson. I love what he did, for the squad. And he went over to the other team. And the reason I say, it was a statement, because they kind of got caught up. The schedule kind of messed them up. They got caught up because we didn't do well in the Green Bay game, and a lot of people were talking.
Yeah.
And Detroit said, we got to remind folks that's just one game. And they had to let the Bears know as well, like, remember, these the big kids. The Packers, these the big kids playing right now.
Right.
So I'm gonna remind you little brother.
Right.
And that's what they showed them. And here's the other thing. Ben was on the other side of that for the last 3 or 4 years of scoring on people over and over and over and over. So you knew that was coming, and it's bragging rights. Nobody's going to change and say like they hate them or anything like that. But this is the business of winning, and they were just in the way. And this was a opportunity for them to say, hey, first off, you still little brother. And second, remind the rest of the league, it's not the previous week was not who we really are.
Okay, I was getting ready to get right into it, man, and you kind of alluded to it, man. Tell me about how you feeling about the Detroit Lions, and obviously it was day and night from week 1 to week 2, because me and Trey looked at it immediately when they got Michael Parsons. We looking at the Green Bay Packers like, well, shit. This might be a Super Bowl contender right now. So when they come in, they go, y'all go into Lambeau and they put it to you. Ain't no other way to slice it. They put it to y'all. And
right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you feel like there's a momentum shift, or did you momentum shift, meaning the Packers are going to be the upper echelon team in the North, or do you feel like Detroit just didn't have their best day?
They didn't have their best day. They didn't help themselves out in that game. But props to the Packers, because it's not their job to say, "Oh, the Lions are kind of off." It's blood in the water. Let's go ahead and take care of that. So they took care of business, and some of that as well is just, I mean, you get a guy like Michael Parsons, man. Like you can't hide your enthusiasm, joy, and everything. So they were running on high adrenaline. But I remind people, in the past, I want to say 3 seasons, that's the Packers' second win against us. So it's not like, they just winning every single time that we see each other. And they were getting better. I talked about Jordan Love when he first took over for Aaron Rodgers, and everybody was just kind of on him. And I was like, you got to give the dude some time. The dude has been sitting for years. Now he's the man, and he's following the man. So I think Jordan Love is, taking the next step. And the Packers have shown, what I kind of expected them to be last year in these first, 2 games, that, that they're real deal. And they've been real deal, on it. But I mean, you got 2 heavyweights, in that division.
Yeah, look, let's be very, very clear. The Packers were a good team last year, but this seems to be the piece. I mean, it's only been 2 games, but this right here seems to be the piece that was missing. They are probably playing some of the best football in the league right now. Like I said, 2 weeks really early. They're probably playing some of the best football. Christian Watson is on his way back soon. Like this, are you And I guess, and for sake of comparison, I mean, we know all the headlines going into the season with Detroit. Ben Johnson leaving, coordinator leaving. What effect is that going to have on the Detroit Lions? Now, I came into the season saying, and this was obviously projections I made before Michael Parsons, that for me, Philly, Detroit, and you can kind of rank. And after the Parsons trade, I put Green Bay at number 3, but I mean, it's reasonable to say right now, and again, overreaction Tuesday, it's easy to say right now that I know Philly 2-0, but they don't look like Green Bay right now. Detroit, obviously, after 2 weeks, don't look like Green Bay right now. Are you concerned about where the Lions are going to fall in this maze we call the NFC?
No, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All that matters is Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. And I talked, I was on this streak of telling how many wins the Lions was going to win. A few years back, I told everybody 9. They thought I was crazy. They got 9. Then they got 12. Then last year they got 15. That stuff don't matter anymore. And they got a tough schedule. They got some people that they really got to see. But that's not what it is. The ultimate goal is, you definitely want to win your division. You definitely want number 1. Nobody's going to deny that.
Yeah.
But no matter how you get there, it's get to the Super Bowl and win. So as we seen, we were 15-2, the number 1 seed. We weren't in the Super Bowl last year.
Commanders,
and Daniels.
Commanders got in there.
So so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's cool, but when the playoffs start, none of that matters at that point. Nobody cares. So, do I think Detroit's going to win 15 games again? Nah, I didn't have them winning 15 games, but they don't have to.
Right.
At this point, you just got to be who you are, and the Packers are in the way, and they want it like that, because nobody wants to say, oh, they got the easy route, or they took the easy route, or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Y'all went and got Michael Parsons, and we still won. We still got the ultimate goal. You may have won, the first game, but nobody's going to remember that if Green Bay is sitting at home and Detroit, sitting in California getting ready for the big game.
For sure. For sure.
And like you said, it doesn't matter. But in y'all's defense last season, there were a bunch of guys beat up on the defensive end of the ball. And I think it was going to be a matter of time before, water started to leak on that defense. And it just so happened to be in that second round where you guys are coming off a week's rest. And, now you got these guys back and, it hasn't gotten back to its form just yet. I mean, it's the Bears. I mean, the Bears still got some things to figure out. That's a solid win. It's a division win, and all that good stuff. How you feeling about Aiden Hutchinson, being back? Because these guys, these pass rushers that have been getting paid this big money throughout this offseason, it seems like Aiden Hutchinson now is going to be the next in line. So how do you feel about that? Any concerns about potentially not being able to extend him, franchise tag potential? Like, how are you feeling about that situation?
No, I got total confidence in Brad Holmes, and he's been planning for this moment whenever that is, well in advance. He's not going to be trying to figure it out on the fly. The one that I was really concerned with that I couldn't believe they got done was JMO. I thought JMO was going to be gone.
Yeah.
So when they got him extended, I'm like, oh, okay. So Aiden, you need Aiden. And it's funny that you say that because I was literally just watching Ndamukong Suh, and he was on with Busting with the Boys.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how Detroit like lowballed the mess out of him. And that's what was the reason he left. And he was a key piece to that defense. And Aiden Hutchinson is a key piece to the defense. As you saw when we lost him, that pressure and those sacks did not happen, which which we needed, against the competition, especially, like a Jaden Daniels and everything. So nah, he's not going anywhere. They'll get rid of somebody. They'll make a tough decision and get rid of somebody before they get rid of Aiden.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I guess my last question in regards to Detroit Lions and I guess season projections is, in your mind, how likely as a Detroit Lions fan is it that you guys are going to get the Super Bowl this year or in the next 3 years in your mind?
This year.
This year.
Oh, he confident. he said he answered real fast. he confident. I like that. I like that.
Now,
I like that.
And while I respect confidence, there was a time where Pittsburgh was in a kind of window where I would come on here and speak passionately, even though all the things weren't necessarily in a row. I believed in my team, and I would come on here and say things like, "Yeah, we're gonna win 12 games," and I would do these types of things, and we could win a Super Bowl if this rolled this way and that rolled that way. You are confident that this year is the year.
This year is the year. Yes.
Okay.
Yo, I think the conference is tougher than it's ever been, maybe in the last 3 to 4 seasons. I think you're looking at some teams right now, and look, I know it's early. It's week 2 overreactions, but I'm looking at the 49ers, and they're not all the way healthy. I know they don't have
that's what you're looking at.
Well, not just them. I'm going through a list here. I'm just going through a list here because I mean, say what you want about the 49ers, but there is a pedigree there.
Yeah.
Sure.
With the coach, with the GM, and the players there. Like, there is a pedigree there. They've been to a couple of Super Bowls in the last 5-6 seasons. So we have to really put the respect there. Now that they're healthy.
I'm gonna let you finish your list of teams but they got a kicking issue, they got a quarterback injury issue. Nobody in their wide receiving core that rings any bells. Obviously, the defense. I think that's their defense in the running game.
Yep.
And when I say running game, I mean maybe more so scheme than actual running backs. I know CMC is there, but maybe that scheme is what I'm more confident in than I am who actually runs the ball. So I agree that they do got pedigree. that's just not the first name I would have mentioned when we're talking about competition in the NFC. I mean, I'll let you go on with your list. I don't know if you was going least the better, or you know
No,
what I'm saying?
I was just coming up with who came to mind
Yeah.
first. I'm thinking
49ers don't.
I'm thinking about, matter of fact, I'm thinking about undefeated teams. How about that? The
Okay, yeah.
49ers
Let
are
me say
undefeated right now.
let
Go
me
ahead.
say one thing
Yeah.
about the 49. I gotta go. Can I go back for a second?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
man.
Because this has been on my brain since last year.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were doing y'all division talk.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember when y'all were talking about the NFC West, I said the Rams was going to win. And everybody killed me. They said, oh my God, Joloni, you hater. So
Yeah.
I'm like, the reason that I said that is I felt the Rams got better.
Yeah.
But then also, like we talked about, you have this window.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are defying the laws that normally, happens. Just like
their
the
window
Patriots
should have been
did.
closed 3 years ago.
Yeah, so that's not a norm, but
Yeah.
that was my reason for San Francisco was just that, they put so much wear and tear. You're asking guys to come back. You're probably trying to get guys to take pay cuts. Remember, they didn't want to play Brandon Ayuk, and he wanted you to talk about trade me and all this stuff. Now Jawan wants some money. They shift off Debo. I'm just saying, like that comes with the success that you have when you have that. So if you don't win it, that window starts getting smaller.
Yeah.
And the Rams got better. They took some late round talent and turned them into some first round production.
Yeah,
and then you go get a Devontae Adams now on the other side, which don't get me wrong, Cooper Kupp was that dude, but ain't nobody gonna, say, oh, we don't want Devontae,
right?
Either. So that's why I'm like, I just think it was a changing of the guard in that division, and that the Rams really got a chance to kind of command that division for the next kind of year or two. And you got Sean McVay. So I mean, he's just as talented, and he's won a Super Bowl, but he's just as talented as Kyle Shanahan.
Even if they're not division leaders, they still have a chance to be competitive, and they still have a chance to be a consistent playoff team. Another 2-0 undefeated team, we're talking about in the
I'm
Rams.
gonna keep it a buck here. The 49ers are not, if we're talking about who is in the way of the Detroit Lions for going to the Super Bowl, it is not the San Francisco 49ers.
There you go.
It just ain't.
Not right now. Not right now.
The rest of the league got better.
I mean, obviously we don't know what's going to happen in trades, but I mean, if we're talking about windows, and you brought it up, Joloni. I mean, I am fairly confident in saying, pending an amazing off season or some, that window for the 49ers is closed. They're not going to Super Bowl no time soon.
Here's what I'll say.
A lot of teams got better.
49ers. Yes, I agree. A lot of teams did get better. Here's what I'll say about the 49ers. If it's one thing I do know about them, they not scared to make changes at the quarterback spot.
Absolutely not.
And they still able to find a way to win 12 games, win 13 games in the regular season. They was in a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo a few seasons ago. They just was in a Super Bowl 2 years ago with Brock Purdy. I think they have a system in terms of what they want to do defensively, how they want to run their offense, and what they ask the quarterback to do, and the talent that's around the quarterback. That's the one thing I know the 49ers can consistently do. And until I see, and the year they lost to the Chiefs the first go round in 2019, I think that was.
Jimmy Garoppolo don't overthrow that ball, they probably win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
The year after that, they had a down year, had some injuries, got some guys back the following year. There was a playoff team. And then after that, they become this powerhouse again. They get to the Super Bowl. Same thing happened to them last year, the injuries. Now they're getting guys back. I'm not shutting the door on the Niners in terms of the window just yet. Not right now.
Oh, that door's closed because what you're talking about from 2019 to say, let's say their last Super Bowl, whatever year that was.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
We're talking about younger Trent Williams. You're talking about Deebo Samuels on the team. You're talking about younger Fred Warner. You're talking about
Sure.
Javon Hargrave, Robert Saleh when he was in his prime at coaching the defense.
And Robert Saleh's back, by the way.
I'm glad
you mentioned that.
But like I'm saying, Fred Warner is still a top linebacker in the league, but he ain't.
Fred is Fred. Don't get me wrong. I just think that with the injuries are starting to pile up for them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, my fault. Yeah, I no matter how much I tell my kids don't FaceTime me during the podcast, they do it anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, man. What I'm saying is that team, though, you had prime players in prime position, and now those guys are older. Trent Williams. If Trent Williams leaves, that offensive line is Dunsky.
Decimated.
So you don't have the confidence in the front office that they can find the replacements.
It's going to be so
able to keep their window open.
No, it's going to be so many holes to fill. We're talking about middle linebacker. You're talking about left tackle. You're not really sure that you believe in your quarterback right now. I know. Like,
and now that I think about it, they paid Brock Purdy the money, and back when they were in that window,
he got paid.
They didn't have a lot of money allocated to the quarterback spot, so. You make a point from that standpoint.
Because here's that time, right? You want to win a Super Bowl when you don't have to pay your quarterback. You want to win it before you got to pay him. And they didn't win before they had to pay him. And now you paid your quarterback. So now you lose a Deebo Samuels. You know what I'm saying? You're losing those pieces that you can't keep because you got to pay the quarterback. And I'm not saying Deebo Samuels is a top 15 wide receiver. I'm saying that he was the guy in San Francisco that made some of these, things work. You can put him anywhere. And while I, don't think he's the best route runner, he's a great football player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you lose some of them pieces. I'll be honest with you, man. I think that window, and again, I always leave the room open for, front office and any team to turn things around. But I think that window was closed, man. Because unless you're telling me you about to find another Trent Williams in 2 years, or a serviceable Trent Williams, now he ain't got to be Trent Williams Hall of Famer, but serviceable left tackle in the next 2-3 years. Brock Purdy in trouble, and he already injured right now. You know what I'm saying? And that running game is going to struggle.
They got to be on their A game when it comes to the draft, no doubt about it. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until they show me that they're unable to find the replacements for some of these guys that you talked about.
I'm so intrigued about the rest of your list of who was actually challenging Detroit in the next 3 years for a Super Bowl in the NFC.
Oh, Green Bay, Philadelphia.
Obviously.
We'll see what the Commanders, come up with. But right now, I think
I don't think they're ready yet.
They old. Yeah, the defense is old, and they got to find a way to get younger in some units on that defensive side of the ball there. But look, Tampa Bay. Another 2-0 team. If I'm gonna go with the theme of 2-0 teams, Buccaneers. While they haven't looked, like super, but 2 come from behind wins. You're 2-0. Baker's had MVP numbers last season. That defense is still good. Mike Evans is still, Mike Evans. You know what I'm saying? Like I would take the Bucs seriously. Like I think there's some teams in this conference that could get in the way of the Detroit Lions. And I think the Detroit Lions will be in the way of some teams trying to, do the same thing.
Yeah, I'd be trying to get you to just commit to some shit. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, Maestro says that right now I see in the way of the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and if you want to play wild
Rams?
card,
Rams. I mean, that's
Okay.
that's the only other team that you kind of gotta
Rams or Buccaneers?
Find a 13.
Rams or Buccaneers for you? Rams or Buccaneers?
I would say Rams because of the pedigree.
Rams because of the pedigree.
Yeah.
Joloni, what say you?
Yeah, Philly, Green Bay, and I would say the Rams. And here's the thing: it can stop there. We don't need to squeeze in other teams.
Yeah.
It's rare air up there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know it's cute that like, oh, everybody got a chance, and everybody got the same goal. Like, we gotta be real about it. The Atlanta Falcons don't have realistic goals of going to the Super Bowl. When they came into this season,
ain't nobody saying no Falcons.
I'm just saying in general.
God,
it's okay to start rooting people out early until they give you a reason to say, maybe we need to take a look at them.
Yeah, because I mean,
so wait, the Bucks aren't in that conversation, though.
No. I mean, you can put the Bucks, in there. The reason I just didn't put the Bucks in there is because Detroit has beat them.
Okay.
In the playoffs.
When it counts, I'll give you that.
The Bucks have beat us in the regular season. I'm just talking about, when it counts.
I got you.
When it has counted. But if you want to put the Bucks in there, that's fine too. But I'm like,
the Bucks are not going to be rollovers. I tell you that much.
Right. But that's where it stops. And Maestro just said it. It is until somebody give you a reason to put them in that conversation. You just don't put them in just because,
right?
They're in NFC.
Right. And let's not act like the Bucks don't have players that was in that Super Bowl a few years ago. Like, let's not ignore that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's still some players from that team on there still.
Hey, man.
If we're gonna talk pedigree,
sure.
But
if we're talking wild card, I'm just saying, if you want to throw a dark horse team in there, sure. Let's throw Tampa Bay, and honestly, let's throw the Rams in there. Now, if you ask me to pick between the Rams and the Buccaneers, I'm going to pick the Rams.
I'll pick the Rams with you.
I'm going to exclude Tampa Bay out of that. It just don't. Baker Mayfield, with as good as he's played in the since he's been in Tampa Bay, it don't hit the same as Matthew Stafford right now. It just don't. Obviously Mike Evans is Mike Evans, but Puka Nacua is different. That defense.
Well, why does it not hit? It doesn't hit because Stafford's got that, and Baker doesn't have that. That's why it don't hit.
I mean, but it also don't hit because let's keep it a buck. Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
But I'm gonna throw
right now. I'm gonna throw
now
he is.
I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench.
Yeah.
In the conversation. This kid Ubuka could.
Yeah,
that's change stuff.
That's true. That's true.
It kind of changed stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Facts.
I give you that. But as it stands right now, if you're asking me to say who is challenging Detroit, and you ask me to pick a dark horse team, I'm only going to pick one, and it's going to be the LA Rams.
You can't be mad at that. I mean,
I don't think anybody could be mad at it. I don't think anybody could be mad at it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So let's talk matchups. Let's talk this week's matchup here. The Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. And I think this is an interesting game, obviously because of the whole, the Super Bowl preview, if you will. But I think both teams are in an interesting situation where they've been dominant for the past, 3-4 years, and everybody just waiting for them to take that the next proverbial step to the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where do you stand with this week's matchup, Joloni?
Well, obviously, I got Detroit winning it.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Hey, look, and before you go, I got them winning too.
All right. I
of course
appreciate
you
that.
do.
I appreciate that.
Why would I expect anything less? Why would I expect anything less?
So like a couple years ago, I actually had Detroit in Baltimore in the Super Bowl. They both made it to the conference championship.
All black ass city Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
they robbed us of that.
Just didn't pan out. But October 22nd, 2023.
Yeah.
That probably means more to Trey
Mm-hmm.
than anybody.
Yeah.
They carved us up.
Belt the
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah. And we learned something that day that we were just talking about. And I said it then. We experienced big boy ball.
Yeah.
And now I just think Detroit is in that conversation of big boy. So going back to like what you were saying, you know, about Jaden Daniels and our defense and, you know, some of the injuries we had, even with that, even with health, this is the one thing I'm going to be realistic. This is the one thing that my team has struggled with, a mobile quarterback. If you look at last year, who did they lose to? Lost to Buffalo, got a mobile quarterback. Lost to Washington, got a mobile quarterback. And I think they lost to Baker and them. And Baker is not as mobile as them, but he's
early
mobile
in the year.
enough.
Yep.
He's mobile enough. So I think we all know Lamar is kind of mobile. You know,
a little bit.
Ain't no kind of.
tad bit mobile. So it starts there. It's encouraging to see, you know, Derrick Henry struggle like he did last week, but we know that's not something to look forward to back to back because he could have 15 yards going into the fourth quarter and then he'll break one for 80. That's just what he's capable of. So for Detroit, it's really going to be trying to keep Lamar at bay, keep him inside. He's going to make plays. That's just he's a two-time MVP. So you just got to take that. It's really don't let the Zay Flowers get off. Minimize, you know, what Derrick Henry does. Make it a point to you know, we're gonna force Lamar to throw the ball. It's crazy as that sound with what he's doing, but we cannot let him just run all over the field. If he does that, we're gonna be in trouble. But on the flip side, Detroit, look, on paper, Baltimore secondary, but they haven't been showing it these past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you got St. Brown, you got J-Mo, you got LaPorta, and you got this kid, although he only got 2 catches, but they've been pretty impressive in Tesla. Like this could be where, you know, like we're going to need you, young fella, to try and expose this secondary. So it starts with the run game, obviously with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Keep Lamar off the field as much as possible. And then do what Jared Goff does. Play action, take your chances downfield with J-Mo. I think St. Brown to be St. Brown. I'm not expecting him to do what he did this past week or anything like that, but just be effective. And the defense it really just got to be a bend, don't break. And like you were just talking about, there's a bunch of guys that's still on this team that got that, you know, BTA, you know, and they remember that. And Brian Branch just said it when he got a game ball, and he was like, "Hey, that's cool." And the next thing he said was, "Well, man, we got Baltimore next week."
Yeah.
So he already telling everybody, like, forget all this. We got to get focused and we got to get locked in. So
scene of the crime.
Yeah.
So does this feel like you spoke to, you know, Detroit kind of looking to cement themselves as a big boy team. Like this is that kind of that statement game. And obviously we, you know, this is not as significant as a playoff game, but this is one of them games where I mean, I looked at week 1 that way with you in Green Bay, but for certain, this is one of them games where it's like, okay, we know that we're kind of we in Baltimore kind of on the same trajectory. We need to let them know that we right there with y'all. So I mean, like, how important is this win in your mind?
It's like a playoff game. It's because you don't want to go 1-2. I don't care how good you are. You don't want to go 1-2. So and Baltimore's in the same spot. They ain't trying to go 1-2, and it's in Baltimore. That crowd is gonna be crazy.
Monday night.
Everybody's watching. Yeah, this is a playoff football game. This big boy football, and again, you can't go out there and get embarrassed again. So hopefully they've learned whatever they need to learn from 2 years ago, and they're gonna go out there and execute. They're not going to blink. I think Baltimore will give them opportunities. They just got to make them pay when they give them those opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, you talked about the weapons for Detroit, and that's where, for me, if I'm a Ravens, when I'm a Ravens fan, looking at that matchup, I'm looking at the secondary, and particularly on the outside, and I don't, I'm still trying to get a status on Jair Alexander, who I thought
I'm
rushed him
surprised.
out there in week 1 too early. He got most of the snaps in the second half against Buffalo. Didn't look good at all. Made him inactive for the game against Cleveland last week. And so now, and I guess a two-part question. One, because he was with the Packers when you guys would go up against them, multiple times. And I don't recall a lot of games between you guys where he's made such an impact. But I'm curious from your perspective how much of a problem he was to you guys when he was in Green Bay.
The
And
injured most of the
then
time.
what's that?
It's injured most of the time.
Injured most of the time. Okay, yeah. Like I said, I haven't paid much attention to those like how he fares
Mhm.
well against Detroit in those particular matchups when he was with Green Bay. But I guess for me, the concern is for the Ravens is the secondary with St. Brown, who is an absolute third down machine. And that's where we, as a defense, as a secondary, struggle at, whether it's 3rd and 3 or it's 3rd and forever. There's moments in, critical, situations in the game where they just can't get off the field. And I
Mhm.
think Amon-Ra can give us problems in that area. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that matchup and seeing how they do
Mhm.
in regard to that. Jahmyr Gibbs, because I think he's a dude that you get him into space in the passing game, he's gonna make you look foolish, and that's something the Ravens have to really worry about. Um, Roquan Smith, he had a great game last week against Cleveland. First game, not so much. All throughout last year, he's been spotty. Something was up with Roquan last year. I don't know what it was, but got into the Buffalo game, wasn't great. Last week, he did a great job last week. So I'm excited for that matchup also. Roquan Smith and them, when them linebacking core going up against, Jahmyr Gibbs and, those guys.
And they're familiar a little bit with that because Roquan was in Chicago, so
That's
they
right. That's
they
right.
they'd seen him, and like you said, Jair. I think for us, I go back to the secondary. You got two Las Vegas uh, dice rollers back there, and Marlon Humphreys and
Yeah.
Jair,
Yeah.
and
And he's playing nickel. That's the crazy part. Marlon's playing a lot of nickel now.
yeah. So but here it's great when they cashing in on it, but when they not,
Hmm.
it's snake eyes,
Yeah, he
for
could be
them. So
sneaky. He could be
yeah,
sneaky at
and
times.
both of them are sneaky. So uh, that, like you say, the secondary, they're gonna have to, make Jair take those gambles, maybe
Mhm.
frustrate him a little bit. Um, Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, I think David Montgomery is really going to be the biggest key
Mhm.
in this because if they can establish the run and David Montgomery keeps pounding and pounding and get them into that fourth quarter because I'm not expecting a blowout on either side. I'm expecting
Yeah.
this to
Yeah,
be
me
a
neither.
pretty good
Yeah,
game. Um, so
yeah.
I think
I'm expecting another game of the year type game here. I
But
know we
mhm.
are.
I saw your tweet, Trey.
What's up?
And I saw your tweet, and you said Marlon Humphreys is washed.
You
And
know what
he
that
ain't,
was in response
and
to?
I don't, but I know, but you just said he ain't a nickel. And I
Hmm.
know Jameson Williams like to kind of get his dinner over in that
Yeah,
slot over there. He like to get his
yeah.
dinner over there.
That's a concern. Yeah, that's a
That's a
concern.
concern. That's a concern,
Yeah.
and it's also gonna be a concern because when he ain't there, that third down machine, as you like to call him, also like to slide over there and get some possession work over this. possession down work over there.
No, for sure.
Y'all, look, I won't go as far as to say, well, maybe I will, because I've been feeling that way about Marlon Humphreys for a little while since Trippy said it to us. Since Trippy was yelling at Marlon Humphreys outside the game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll ask you, Trey, I don't know how you gonna deal with that wide receiver core, man, because the truth is, I'm not saying y'all secondary is bad. Obviously, I won't go as far as to say, but it's at least safe to say your second year man in Nate Wiggins is your most consistent cornerback right now.
For sure. He
ain't A1.
He's the most consistent one right now. And yeah, this is most likely going to be a shootout. I'm gonna call it right now. This game is going into the high 30s for Monday night. This is going to be in the high 30s because I honestly don't see how the secondary, when it matters most, and this has sort of been their MO the past several seasons, that they get into these fourth quarters and they're giving up big play after big play. This is going to be, and I think in certain spots, I think the Ravens, if they don't get Isaiah Likely back, he's going to be a guy that's going to be really missed because Isaiah Likely is a dog on this offense, and that guy can catch just about anything. It don't matter, what radius you throw it to. He's going to make a play on it. So I think he's going to be missed.
What stops this from being week one in your mind?
What stops it from being week one?
What stops this from meaning
the Ravens blowing the lead? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, not necessarily blowing the lead, but I mean, but essentially when it matters, shit in the bed. What in your, and I'm not saying you're going to. I'm just saying that's a reasonable question to ask coming off of week one. The Browns are the Browns, whatever. These are upper echelon teams in 2 out of the first 3 weeks. And what's your concern? Because a lot, like we talk about the Lions, and they're not necessarily, trying to prove that they the big boys and they having to pull their pants up. I mean, the truth is that Baltimore has that same exact issue. They had that same exact problem.
For sure. So
I remember how emotional you were week one after the Buffalo loss. I remember that. We talked about it for 30 minutes. So I know that that has to be something that's on your mind.
That one was tough.
That was hella. I mean, that was
tough for me to watch.
Man, I didn't watch it. I cut it off thinking, all right, they got it wrapped up. Let me go cut some music on, get ready for my day. And I get a text message saying, "Oh, 1 point. Oh, I missed something."
that was so painful. I had to step out the studio for a minute. But no, you know what? I tweeted that night and I said, and Joloni, I'm a Knicks fan too. We'll talk Pistons in a minute, but I tweeted right after the Ravens blew that, and I said this felt like the Halliburton shot in Game 1 all over again, like that gut punch where you got a team on the ropes, you about to cruise to that win, and then all of a sudden that rush just starts coming in, and then you just somehow blow it. That's what that game felt like.
And it's different. I mean, what's different between Buffalo and Detroit is if in Buffalo you shut down Josh Allen, you shut down Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's not the case in Detroit. You got to worry about Jameer Gibbs. You got to worry about Jameson Williams. You got to worry about St. Brown. And then, I mean, the offensive line is a decent offensive line. So if you give Goff time to get back here and do his thing, he's going to do his thing. Jameer Gibbs is one miss in the screen for going 80 yards. Like, you got legitimate people who hit home runs on that Detroit team, at least 3 of them that that could hit a home run if you just get undisciplined for a second. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely does hit different. And I think I think the Baltimore Ravens, while they got their, obviously they got their home run hitters as well.
Yep.
Again, it's just a matter of that mindset and who gonna want it when it really matter.
So I think what's going to stop this game from becoming the Buffalo Ravens game from week 1 is that this coaching staff allows this offense to go out and win the game. That's not what they did in Buffalo. They decided at that point when we didn't get the third down, they punted and told the defense that was getting carved up. I mean, let's be real. The score was 40-25, but it still felt like the Ravens defense was still getting carved up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they got to understand the offense is the strength of this team. Forget the history, forget the Super Bowl in 2000, forget all that. This is a totally different team. I know what y'all known for. I know y'all want to, y'all want to wear that mantra as, we're a defensive team. No, y'all not a defensive team. Y'all an offensive team. This offense is the strongest of the units on this team. So they got to understand that if they want to go out and win a ball game, you got to put it in number 8 hands, man.
If they don't realize that, you only got to show them one play, and that was at the end of that Buffalo game.
Mm-hmm.
I told a homeboy of mine, I've never seen Keon Coleman. I've never seen a football player cross somebody up on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who that was, but he made him touch the turf.
Jair. I think it was Jair.
So that in itself right there should, we're going to live and die with Lamar, with Derek. Whatever happens. And we'll live with that. We're fine.
Right,
if it
exactly.
don't work out, cool. But that's where we're going to lean, and that's where we're going to push all our chips in.
Because I'm sure in Detroit, as tough as Dan Campbell wants to make the entire team and the defense, y'all know, hey, we're going to live and die with these offensive players. And if it don't work out, that's what it's going to be like.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Trey, you want to make a call? You want us to call the score?
38-35, Baltimore. It's going to be a shootout.
Okay.
It just is. But I respect the Lions, so that's why my score is, a 3-point win.
Joloni?
I'm going to go 3 points as well. I think it'll be, maybe some jitters or something like that, or just some mistakes. But I'm going to go 24-21.
Little bit of low score right there. A little bit. Yeah.
I mean, you can't call it low scoring, but I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the teams that are playing, I guess that's a low scoring.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, how many drives each team going to get? They probably going to get about.
Well, it feels like Jelani is saying is that somebody's defense is going to make a stand, and this won't be something crazy. This will be a normal game. I think
normal.
Say that,
yep.
They say the average is 25. A team, if you can score 25, you in a good position to win a game. It sounds like he feel like a stop is going to be made when it needs to be made.
Yeah. Yeah,
as opposed to it just being a shootout and then the other team just ran out of time type of thing.
Right. And I guess from a betting standpoint, I would imagine the over-under, Jelani, on this game is probably going to be in the 50s, I would imagine. Maybe low 50, maybe 52 and a half or something like that. And, they probably going to have a lot of money on the over, but wouldn't be surprised at a score like that, 24-21. Wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, man. Let's talk a little NBA, man. Detroit Pistons, and yes, seem like our teams have been interacting with each other in the last year or so. It seems that way. Talk to me about the Detroit Pistons. Breakout season last year. They're the number 6 seed in the East. Played the Knicks in the first round. A tough, 6-game series. What's the expectations for Detroit given the injuries in the Eastern Conference to the Pacers, the Celtics, and Milwaukee? What's the expectations for Detroit?
Top 4, top 3.
Yeah.
Build off of what you had. Expect them to mature and hit that, that next level. Your superstar and Cade Cunningham, he got that experience. Now, like, you were the number one overall pick. That's great. That hasn't worked out for all number one overall
Right.
picks, but
Yeah.
Right.
you were the man. You went in the playoffs. You felt what it was like to be that number one overall pick, to be the franchise, to be the superstar. You had success, made an all-star appearance, all that stuff you did. But I think also what he realized that, again, it's levels to this. I forgot who said it,
Meek Mill.
Meek Mill. Yeah. There's levels to this thing.
Yeah.
And what you can get done in the regular season will not work in the playoffs because they had the Knicks dead to rights multiple times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they said, get a ball to Jalen.
That's
And he
it.
went, and I think Kate saw that and just like, okay, I know what I need to do. But then also, you got guys, don't know what's going to go on with Malik. I'm not expecting him to be back. After everything, he'll probably sign
By
with
the
another
way,
team.
Maestro, the feds ain't gonna press anything on Malik Beasley.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Because we didn't talk about that because I know when it happened, we kind of
thought it was a wrap.
But,
But let's be
Yeah.
clear. They set him up, and now he definitely not gonna get no contract unless he go crazy. Like, he not gonna get no like crazy contract like he was supposed to be getting. That's dead now, and now he going and if he go crazy for the next 2 to 3 years is when that conversation might happen again. But now you're talking about an older basketball player. So
I mean, Knicks is waiting for.
He gonna have to take a prove it deal at this point because a lot of people ain't got money left over, but he's still under investigation with the NBA. So they, he at this point, the good thing is for him is he's not looking at any jail time, but
right.
Depending on what comes back from that could be a suspension and or whatever. But just the fact that the NBA is looking at it, no team is going to touch him until that comes out. And then again, he probably ain't gonna get the deal that he want anyway because free agency is over. So he's probably gonna take a 1-year prove it deal.
Take that minimum.
He may come back to Detroit just with the comfort level. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But they got guys. Ron Holland. He's I think he's gonna step up. A guy that we did not have was in the playoffs with Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Duren, hopefully I'm saying his name right. I think he grew in that playoff series.
Yeah.
As a big man. And speaking of big man, if we can just keep him on the court and not trying to choke people out, Isaiah Stewart.
You was missing him. You was missing him.
Yes, indeed.
I
like Isaiah Stewart, though. I ain't gonna lie. He definitely need to not choke people, but I like Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah. He's an enforcer. You gonna think twice coming in there. He not worried about scoring and all that stuff. So they got some nice pieces. And then, they got Karis LeVert. So you got some offense there. Kept Tobias. I liked the first time when Tobias was in Detroit. When he left, I was hurt. So when he came back, I was glad that he came back. And then you got another guy, former Wolverine, in Duncan. And you got a sharpshooter there. So I like where they're at. They're still young. I ain't even mentioned, one of the Thompson twins. I think out of everybody, I think that's going to be the next. Cade will, do what he do. He'll that natural progression. But I think, Thompson, I think he's the one that's going to take the biggest leap going into this next year.
So when your
they
mind
had him covering Jalen, and I think this kid, he's still what, maybe 19, 20?
19, yeah.
Yeah. So I like where they're at. It's still a process, but I like where they're at.
So in your mind, who's top 4 in the East for you? You got your Pistons in that top 4. Who else you put in there?
Oh, I got New York. Got to put New York. I would say also to add in there, they're not gonna. I just think it's gonna be tough without Tyrese. I think
Yeah,
They could,
and Miles. They let
and
Miles go to Milwaukee. Yeah.
you're right. I will put Milwaukee in there because Miles and Giannis. It's always a team that kind of surprised everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sun done, rotated so many times. So I'm not guaranteeing this, but I wouldn't be surprised if like it could be Boston. I would say Boston.
Yeah. I mean,
I was gonna say Miami, but no, I'd say Boston.
Oh hell no.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is the crazy thing, Trey.
Hell no.
We say this all the time, and then at the end we look and we just like, how did Miami do that?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm hanging my hat on. With that it's going to be some other team that's going to come out of there. So
Is Indiana totally out of the running for a playoff run without Halliburton?
no, I think they can make the playoffs. I just
Okay.
think at this point, going to the finals, you're not worried about making the playoffs.
They're
You're
not
trying to
gonna make
get
a
back.
run. They're not
Yeah.
gonna make a run though.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to the championship. Let's be clear. I don't think
yeah,
they're going
I don't
nowhere.
think they can get back to the finals.
Yeah.
What
no.
about
Without-
Cleveland? Are we leaving out Cleveland in that top four?
You're right. That's my bad. My bad.
Yeah, I was just about to
Cleveland.
ask you. I was like, he left Cleveland off the list.
I'm sorry.
Maybe he's not a believer.
I'm sorry. So yes, I would throw. So let me put Detroit,
Mhm.
Cleveland,
New York.
You said
New
Knicks
York,
and you said Milwaukee.
and Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah, you surprised me with the Milwaukee one, but now that you mentioned Miles Turner with Giannis, I am intrigued by how that fit's gonna work despite not having Dame for the entire year. I could see that.
But Dame gone.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
Yeah, like he gone. So, but what does point guard look like? What does point guard look like in Milwaukee?
who is their point guard?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Don't give
No,
me
I was gonna say who was their point guard when they won.
It was Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So Drew
don't
got
get me
traded,
wrong,
right?
Drew is the man, but I'm saying Drew wasn't that offensive firepower.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. I don't think you need that from that point guard spot.
You're right. Well, so when I asked it, because I'm not looking for it because look, Dame Lillard is Dame Lillard. This ain't no shade to Dame Lillard, but I don't think he would have been his. And I get he was scoring points and that's what they was doing, but I think Milwaukee is better suited to have a point guard who's not scoring and just facilitating and playing defense. I think Milwaukee is a better team with Giannis with that type of a point guard. So I mean, I wasn't a super fan of Damian Lillard in Milwaukee. I just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know like two people that want the ball, and the problem is that Dame going to bring it up every more times than he ain't. So I didn't really care for that. And didn't think that was going to be helpful for Giannis. So I think in this scheme where and again we don't know who the point guard is going to be or who it is right now, but I think if it's a guy who more fits the mold of a Drew Holiday, that they would stand to be a little more successful, and for certain might play some better defense.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I'm looking at it now. Kevin Porter is probably going to be the.
That's right. We did have some conversations about Kevin Porter in the past. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he kind of fits your style of what you've been talking about, Maestro, as a guy that is going to play some defense, run the offense, not
give me 15. Give me 15 a game. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere
that's how they won the championship.
Give me something like that, and know that if they, if the defense allows it, he can get to 20-25. But on a regular night, give me that 15 to 18, something like that, and we'll be all right. Make sure you give me them 9 assists though, and we'll be all right. I like that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Do you think that y'all gonna be ready for the Knicks if y'all have to see them again this year?
Detroit? Yeah. Again, because of I think Thompson will be that difference maker, and because I mean, even Jalen gave him his props. He really frustrated Jalen,
Yeah.
and there was, I mean, you could see it. There was opportunities. They were up, and New York was just a better team. They were the more experienced team. They were the more veteran team. They didn't panic. You could see that. They've been there before. And
Right.
you could just see Detroit was trying to figure it out. But I think that was the best experience that they needed to go up against a team like New York, because it taught them something. And with the coach, JB, I mean, that dude is real deal. So
Yeah, facts.
he's changed. He did the same thing. He basically doing the same thing Dan Campbell did. He's changing the culture. He's changing, people are believing, and you got guys that want to be there, and you ain't got guys just there to, collect a check,
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think they could
No
give the
shade to
Knicks
Monty.
a run for their money.
No shade to Monty
Monty
Williams.
Williams.
No shade to Monty.
Yeah, it's and I was sad when Monty left, because I was just like, yo, y'all didn't even give him a fair opportunity to
Yeah.
change, turn it around. But look around. This is the
Yeah.
NBA now. Like they firing coaches who winning championships
Right.
and making it to the NBA final. Like, that's crazy. Like, they're
Yeah.
firing guys after 1 year.
Yeah. For
Crazy.
sure. For
Nasty
sure.
Nasty work, man. Hey,
Oldest league
Joloni,
of
man,
us.
you know we family, on this podcast. You always, welcome to come back anytime, man, and
Sure.
chop it up with us. Just let the folks out there know where they can find you at on social media, and let them know about your show and some of the things you got coming up.
Man, you right there. I got the website. I'm on YouTube. That's the easiest way. youtube.com/@the-wait-a-minute-show. Every week, posting something multiple times a week. Follow me there. What we got coming up? Well, what was it? September? Yeah. So pretty soon, we'll have the Wait a Minute Show toy drive. That'll be right around the corner.
Yes,
Infamous
indeed.
toy drive. That's
Yes,
right.
Infamous toy
That's
drive.
right.
So
That's right.
I'm trying to get my brain right for that, because that's a lot of locking in. But other than that, man, that's pretty much the biggest thing right now for us, and just follow your boy. Jump on there. I have no problem reading the comments and responding back.
For sure.
All right. That's what's up, man. Hey, appreciate you doing this again, man.
Yes, sir.
And we gonna talk down the road for sure.
All right.
Yes, sir. See them internet streets, man.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Be easy. Take it easy, man. The homeboy Joloni Boddie with the Wait a Minute Show. Make sure y'all follow that guy on his platform on YouTube. Got all kinds of good things going on with that stuff right there. And yeah, man, a good, dope conversation, man. That Lions Ravens game, that's gonna be a good one, man. That's gonna be a good
for sure. And tell us about this money you made, man.
Actually, I'm not ready for that. I actually had some quick hitters that I wanted to kind of go through here.
What you want us to leave in suspense always to the end of the episode?
At this point, just because, like I said, I just don't have the stuff up with me, but I will have it up at some point. But
don't worry about it then.
I wanted to get the quick hitters in, and just wanted to congratulate a couple people that won awards this week. Paige Beckers won Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
In the W, much deserved. Honestly, it was the only choice. When you watch the season. And Veronica Burton with the Golden State Valkyries won Most Improved Player of the Year. Congrats to her. She deserves it. Valkyries, the first expansion team to make the playoffs. But they're going to be one and done in the first round, which is okay. It's a success for that team. No doubt about that. So congrats to those ladies. And I guess they're going to do MVP.
Nah, shout out to the Valkyries on their season, man. Hell of a season, man. I didn't know who they was playing, so I don't know who they was why they was about to lose so fast. But definitely shout out to the Valkyries, hell of a season. I mean, I know y'all been talking about it all year. I mean, I had to hear about the Golden State Valkyries all year, man. So for sure. Shout out to Paige Beckers as well on that Rookie of the Year. I do not pretend like I know who the hell y'all talking about with Shawty with the Valkyries, but shout out to her on Most Improved Player of the Year. I would love to know what Trey's quick hitters is, but I don't know. I don't know what his quick hitters was, man. I have no idea, but this is a perfect time for me to shout out Cameron on It Is What It Is. So I seen this, and I'm sure y'all seen this on social media today, where Adrien Broner was on It Is What It Is the other day, or maybe it was today. I don't know. I seen it today, so I'm gonna go with it was today. And I guess Adrien Broner was flirting with Stat on the episode, and Cam dismissed Adrien Broner, like, hey, I told you don't holler at, stop hollering at her, leave her alone, or dude here. And he kept doing it. And I was wondering if I seen Trey say that they like Slim looked high, like he was on drugs or something like that. And I know Adrien Broner that had his bouts with alcoholism and little shit like that. So I definitely do wonder if he was, if he was high or if he was drunk or whatever. But he looked clear-eyed to me. But I wonder, like what that look like. But shout out to Cam for standing up for his people, and B, you know what I'm saying? He did it classy. He did it real classy. Like, he wasn't just like, shitting on Adrien Broner. Like, he ain't try to do it in a way that was like embarrassing or being confrontational. It was just like, nah, like you violated, and let's go ahead and do this another time. And I'm sure they had their man-to-man conversation, and and let it be what it was, or But that was crazy. Shout out to Cam on that and handling it that way. I don't know what Trey's quick hitters was, but I know for certain one of the things I saw on social media as well today is Molly Karam leaving ESPN. I don't watch. Y'all know me. I don't watch ESPN like that. I don't be really watching TV like that. So I damn sure don't get my sport. I don't get a lot of my sports shit from ESPN, TV, all that. I scroll, see the play, or see the story, and try my best to not be influenced by narratives that people put out or whatever, right? So all I seen was a clip of Stephen A. introducing the show and him announcing that Molly Karam was going to no longer be with ESPN, and that the night before, which was Monday night, that she officially resigned from ESPN, didn't show up for work Tuesday morning, and that was that. I would love, and I mean, I would absolutely love to know what happened with that. Like, where did that happen? Like why so sudden? I would love to speculate on how or why that happened that way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I know. So I hopefully Trey hurry up and come back, get his internet situation together, so we can figure out. Maybe he got some intel, because I for real, I do not know. But that's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell. Let me see what we got here in the chat real quick while we waiting for Trey. I see RC in there. What's up, RC? What's up with you? They showed the unreleased version of that interview. What interview? I don't know what interview you're referring to, sir. Okay, I think we got everything there. And now we don't really know. So now I don't really know what's going on with Trey. But I do want to make sure. Oh, yeah, there we go. Boxing fans, rest in peace to Ricky Hatton. Man, Look, I never, no, Ricky Hatton, legendary. Well, legendary. I'm trying to watch my words when I call people legendary, but certainly rest in peace to a great boxer, a good boxer, and Ricky Hatton, man. One thing I will always say about Ricky Hatton, I remember back when he fought Floyd Mayweather, and I had the mitigated gall to step into a fight party and say that, Ricky Hatton, um, was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Like, when you're in that stage where, somebody just keep winning and they winning so much, it's just like, oh, like you kind of want to see them lose because they winning so much. And everybody who followed the Floyd Mayweather era know that it was a time where it's like, he fight. This is gonna be the time to lose. This is gonna be the time to lose. And this was my moment where I was like, all right, he winning. He got to take an L to somebody. And what I respect about Ricky Hatton's game is that Ricky Hatton, no matter what, he gonna brawl. He gonna fight. He always gonna step in. He steps in. He steps in. He steps in. And I always respect boxers who ain't scared of the brawl. And Ricky Hatton has always been a brawler. You know what I'm saying? So I want to definitely say rest in peace to Ricky Hatton, who passed away in the past week. But I always respected his game. He was a brawler. Floyd Mayweather definitely put him down. And no pun intended, he definitely beat him in that match. But I remember that was the one time throughout the Floyd Mayweather's run where I was like, you know what? Floyd gonna lose this fight. It was to Ricky Hatton, but rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. He definitely an asset to the boxing community, and I respect him because he never he fighting, he brawling, he'll get dropped brawling. He ain't talking about no defense. He ain't talking about nothing. He just talking about fighting, and I always respected that about Ricky Hatton. So rest in peace to Ricky Hatton. Trey, welcome back, man. I was trying to figure out. I realized that you was going to have way more information on Molly Qerim than I did because I don't watch ESPN. And you probably would have had context on Cam sending Adrien Broner home because I saw it on social media. So yeah. I'm assuming that those were your quick hitters. But I don't know. So
I just went through the weirdest thing because obviously you would cut out the screen, or so I thought. So I was talking without you, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm not even live.
Yeah,
right. I'm not even live. So I said, let me jump out of here and jump back in, and then
you just reminded me. Why I know I would never do a podcast by myself.
Oh,
like I would never do it. It would be 15, it'd be 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it obviously would be short. I mean, same here.
Well, some people. I mean, but no, there are people who do it by themselves often.
Sure. No, sure. I wouldn't do I would do a podcast by myself if I know I'm preparing for it. And it's like maybe 30 minutes to I'd say about 30 minutes.
Yeah, but, not me.
But if like what we just went through, one of us cutting out and then one of us happening to kind of carry it through until the other, gets back on, you just kind of thinking of stuff on the fly and until one of us gets back on. So.
No, well, luckily I rememmed that Ricky Hatton passed away, so there we go.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Rest in peace, and big ups to RC, one of our A1 Day ones. Big boxing fan, by the way. RC.
Yeah, you said exactly what I said. All offense, but no defense. But I respect offensive fighters, so that was my. That's why I liked Ricky Hatton. That's why I thought that he might have a chance at beating Floyd Mayweather, like overwhelming him with offense maybe, but clearly didn't go the way I seen it. And after that, I never bet against Floyd Mayweather again. It's like, bruh, if we can't over offense Floyd Mayweather, then it's really nobody who can really hang with him.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
no, I got
for
you.
sure.
I got you. But
quick hitters, man.
Yeah. This is one of the quick hitters I was talking to myself before I realized I wasn't live. But it was announced yesterday that through, I want to say, Sports Business Journal or one of those newspapers, that Molly Qerim was leaving First Take at the end of the calendar year. But a few moments later, she posted this last night on her IG story. And I'm just going to read the first line where she says, "Now that the news came out earlier than I intended and not in the way I hoped." And then she just kind of goes into her thank yous and everything, that the folks at First Take have done for her and things like that. Um, I watched the show this morning, and it was Stephen A, doing the hosting, and he kind of opened up the show as if a funeral happened,
I mean, it feels that way. It felt
right.
that way when I watched it. Sure.
Yeah, it felt like it was a funeral the way they kind of opened the show up. And get this thing back.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hey, man, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, bro.
This thing is
Right there.
just getting on my just getting on my nerves,
All right,
man.
let's make this. Let's do some picks, man, and wrap this up, bro.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Let's get it. Yeah,
that's fine. But yeah, but my whole point, I just want to just finish that point, and then I'll skip the other quick hitter stuff, and we'll get right to picks. But her posting that on IG made me think that she's not going to wait until the end of the calendar year to leave.
Yeah,
he's already gone.
Yeah,
and especially after Stephen A said he's hosting the rest of the week, that kind of told me, okay, she wasn't happy with how this news got out, or it could be a contractual thing. It could be a number of different things, but it certainly wasn't the way she wanted to go out.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to look into rumors and all that stuff today, because my 9 to 5 is my 9 to 5. So, but definitely, I mean, salute to Molly Qerim. Whatever her next moves is, 10 years at ESPN. I mean, look, she talented enough to do whatever she want to do in this sports world. Certainly experienced enough to do whatever she want to do in this sports world.
Yep.
Good luck to her and her next endeavors, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go through these week 3 picks for this week. Let's start with the Thursday game. No commentary here. It's Buffalo's game to win on Thursday night.
Yeah,
and then there's a big one. Rams in Philly against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling about that one?
Give me Philly at home.
Philly at home. Okay. I'll take the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Falcons, who got a kind of a good win last week, going up against the Panthers in Carolina.
Give me the Falcons. Pantherettes. Hey.
I was waiting for somebody to mention Miss Sonia.
Pantherettes, man. It's not looking good.
Not looking good.
It's not looking good so far. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons too. Next game, I'm gonna take the Bucks at home over the Jets.
You know what? I'm feeling frog. Give me the Jets in the upset.
Okay, wouldn't be a bad upset either. I'm certainly gonna take the Packers over Cleveland for sure.
Yeah.
And then this game here, and I kind of alluded to it earlier in the show. Joe Burrow with turf toe, getting surgery, going to be out for 3 months.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy, his is an ankle issue, I think, going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. So it's Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz.
Yep, give me the Vikings.
And much as I don't like the Bengals, I'll take the Bengals. I'll take. It's hard to say he's the more experienced backup when you're talking about Carson Wentz.
He definitely ain't. Yeah,
but Carson Wentz hasn't been like
Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason is out there running backs.
Well, Aaron Jones is not going to play.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I still got. I mean, Jordan Mason is. I still believe in Jordan Mason. I definitely still believe in that Vikings defense way more than I believe in the Bengals defense. I'm still taking the Vikings.
I'll take the Bengals.
Sure.
Um, all right, we got Indianapolis in Tennessee taking on the Titans, and I think the Colts are going to be 3-0
Yep.
after this week, man.
For sure.
All right, we got Texans at the Jags. I will take the Jaguars right now. Texans ain't looking so hot.
I haven't been able to follow the check on the Texans. I don't know how they're doing.
Not great, not good.
1-1. Because I feel like I
Oh,
remember
and
they won
2.
week.
Oh,
They lost week 1.
they lost to the Rams. 14-9.
14-9. Yep. Give me Jacksonville. I'm with you.
Yep. Pittsburgh at New England. Boy, this might be. I tell you,
Give me the Steelers. You think I ain't never been no bitch nigga, dog. Give me the Steelers.
I tell you what. I mean, the fact you had to hesitate, bro. The fact that you had to hesitate.
Oh no, that was the okey doke, dog. Fuck you talking about? That was the rope of dope. Muhammad Ali, nigga. Give me the motherfucking Pittsburgh Steelers in whatever the is it still Foxborough over there? Wherever it's called.
Whatever that place is called.
Yeah, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, nigga. I
don't like the Patriots.
I ain't never folding on these picks, never.
I hate the Patriots. I hate the Steelers probably just as equally as I do the Patriots. Give me the Patriots. I'll go with the Patriots in the upset.
Yeah, I don't know.
Drake May gonna put up 30.
I don't know that that's an upset right now. To be honest with you.
Okay.
I think that's but we digress.
They might put some points up on that Steelers defense, bro. All right. Raiders at the Commanders. I will take the Raiders on the road. There's just questions about Jaden Daniels and his health right now.
Sure.
They're not looking to
where it stands though he's playing.
Who's that?
The Jaden Daniels, where it stands right now, he's playing.
Where it stands, he's playing right now, but it just hasn't looked great.
Sure. Geno Smith hadn't looked so great so far either.
Yeah, it's definitely not last night for sure.
Give me the Commanders. All
right.
Hell of a game here.
Yeah, this one here. Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a game. Broncos at the Chargers. Chargers coming off a win last night. Broncos coming off of a loss, which shouldn't have been. That was a little controversial at the end there. But I will take the Chargers.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Saints in Seattle. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yep.
This is kind of an interesting one in a way. Cowboys at the Bears. I'm taking like both these teams are, you know.
I'm still taking the Cowboys on the road.
I'll take the Bears.
All right.
I don't know if it's an upset.
That's fair. It's definitely not an upset. They not both neither one to play. I know the Dallas off a shootout, but give me Dallas. All
right. Cardinals at the 49ers, both 2-0 going into this matchup, by the way. I like the way the Cardinals been playing, man. I'll take the Cardinals, and
me too.
There's no Brock Purdy, so I'll go Arizona.
Me too.
We got the Sunday night game. I don't care. I don't give a damn.
Will you watch it?
You know what? If they don't change let me not say if they don't change the quarterback, but the Giants have been interesting. Let's just say that.
Okay. It's
enough.
The Giants are interesting in this sense that the only throw that Russell Wilson throws well is the deep ball,
the moon ball,
and Malik, and you can't stop Malik Neighbors.
Yeah,
that's the only.
This is not going to be a runaway. This is not going to be a runaway game. But I just don't see in any world how Kansas City loses this game. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
I agree.
And I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. And then the Monday night game, the game of the week. Lions at the Ravens. You know where I'm going. Ravens going to be in black jerseys on a Monday night in the city. Give me
for their own funeral. Give me the Detroit Lions. Let's go.
All right. All right, that's it for the picks. Appreciate everybody here in the chat. Shout out to Nothing to See Here.
What up? What up?
Whoever that is, shout out to you. Appreciate you joining the show here. And he's got an upset right there. But more power to you. More power to you, player. For sure. Shout out to Joloni for coming through.
Yes, indeed.
Blessing us with some sports talk and all that good stuff. Continue to follow us, folks. We got the Facebook page. You can also follow us on Twitch and on the YouTube channel. Follow us on the social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Big shout out to the folks watching us on Instagram Live. I see Tink07. I see Joella in the chat. Appreciate you. That's the team right there. If you got questions, comments about the show, hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. And as always, folks, love, peace, and happiness. We got a dope one next week for y'all. And as always, as we like to close out, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro Styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called